In one of my latest videos, I asked, what build should I make to have playmaking takeover on? Since this year, I didn't make a build with playmaking takeover off the rip. Y'all know, when my playmaking shot critters or all my dribbling builds, I always put playmaking takeover. But this year, it started off kind of weird because playmaking takeover didn't become good until patch 4. Ankle breakers didn't become relevant until patch 4 and 3. But I want to make a build, and I was like, okay, it's between making another play shot, a stretch playmaker, or maybe a BP build or a stretch big that can get playmaking takeover. But it would be no point in me remaking the same build. It would be no point in having the same build of a play shot or a slasher build that has play take. So I decided I should make a stretch playmaker. Yes, a stretch playmaker is literally a bigger version of a play shot this year. As y'all know, a lot of people had that build last year. It was somewhat decent. It was actually good because you had a 70 ball control and you could dribble with a 70 ball control last year. But also the build that y'all ran into a lot last year was the playmaking glass winner. Y'all cannot lie. That build was very prominent in NBA 2K20. But this year, it's not a good build. It's really not a good, it's mostly a rep build if you're playing center and you're just trying to get some type of rep as well. But look, this might be the first time y'all see me on a center / power forward build on NBA 2K21. This must be the first time. If I get this build to 99, I will drop a video on it. But look, I'm gonna teach y'all boys how to build it. The pie chart that you're gonna end up using is the playmaking, OG playmaking shot critter pie chart. The Hall of Fame playmaking and the Hall of Fame shooting. You can't really go wrong with this play shot pie chart. That's what I call it, the play shot pie chart. That's wherever you see the most offensive threat or play shot pie chart, what most people say is last year. The playmaking shot critter pie chart, the stretch playmaker pie chart. But look, when it comes to the physicals, you can go two ways with this. You can go to the, I'm gonna be playing the secondary role on twos, actually the center, or I'm gonna be the main ball handler on the twos as being the guard. So when it comes to this physicals, you're gonna be picking the speed if you're gonna be the ball handler. If you want more speed, pick the ball handler. But look, if you're gonna be playing like the center position most of the time you're playing, I would mostly go with the speed and vertical or the balance. The balance is not that bad. Just know you're gonna still be fast. You're gonna have those 80 something speed, 86 speed, but when you actually get the build maxed out, you have somewhat close to a 90 speed. But as of me showing you lately, I've been showing you the possibilities of the max badge that you can get per category. As you see, we got 9 for finishing. I think for shooting and playmaking, this is somewhat similar. I think it's 23 and 23 on the playmaking shot critter build for a power forward. So you see shooting, I got 23 shooting badges, and for playmaking, I got 23 playmaking badges. So right now it's 9, 23, 23, and I think it's a total of 10 to 11 defensive badges. Make sure you max out your defensive badges. That's one thing you want to do. It's a power forward build, even though it's not a defensive build. You want to get the most defensive badges you can. But look, now we're about to get into the build. Let's get into the build, the actual creation of the build. I showed you what's the possibilities with all the badges in total in each category. Now let's try to put this build together. First category you want to work with is the defensive category. The reason why I say this, because you're going to end up using a lot of upgrades already on defense. You want to max everything out. This is a very important thing, because if you got 7 defensive badges, you're not really stopping nobody in the paint. Especially you being a small power forward, you're not stopping nobody in the paint. So with the actual 11 defensive badges, that's somewhat decent. It's half of what a red blue would get somewhat. I think they get 23 to 22, but you already struggling with the defensive stats, so you need all the badges you can get. With the shooting badges, you're gonna max out the mid-range, the three-pointer. And don't worry, y'all like, okay, didn't you say we need an 86 three-pointer? Being at a 70-something three-pointer, you ain't looking real good, ChaMoma. They ain't looking real good. But we're gonna get 20 shooting badges. 20 shooting badges should be good enough for popping and isoing with this build. But when we come to the playmaking, 23 playmaking badges, I had to actually adjust. I had to lower it. The reason I had to lower it, you don't have to if you don't want to. I wanted to put my layup up. I wanted to be able to get long athlete, Curry, or Euro step, be able to do the James Harden or the Kyrie Irving layup. But the requirement for that is to have a 70 driving layup. The same way of getting park dunks. You have to have a 70 driving dunk to get park dunks. But with close shot, I don't need a close shot because close shots on the game is broken. It doesn't matter if you got a high close shot or a low close shot. You're going to end up still somewhat hitting that shot. But you see this build started at 6'9". 6'9". And look at the stats at 6'9". When we go to 6'7", we're just hitting that threshold of 80 ball control and having 76 ball control off rip. But when it comes to the weight, this is what I told you guys. certain pie charts are going to work with certain categories. If you wanted to put speed on this build and go with the balanced pie chart, it will work. Because you have to go at least 240. I prefer you go 240. If you're going to be like an actual spot up, stretch big type build, you want to go at least 240 because you'll be able to still guard paint bees, pure red, stuff like that. So when you come to actually being the main ball handler or somewhat a secondary ball handler with this build, I would go somewhat similar to lowest weight to 200 pounds or 215 at the lowest. That would be the max. If you're going to go somewhat lowest, 215 would be the max. The minimum would be 180 if you can. So we're going with the 200. I'm going to go right in the middle of both. But when it comes to the wingspan, you do not want to go max wingspan on this build. You do not. I repeat, listen, do not go max wingspan. If you go max wingspan, this build will be garbage. It will. You won't be able to get pro dribble moves. You won't be able to shoot consistently. So I need you to pay very close attention right now. As of analyzing this build, looking at it, when you make your arms lowest wingspan to average, it somewhat mimics a regular play shot build. Off a default play shot build, not like a smallest wingspan play shot build. If you make a play shot right now and you compare it to this build with lowest wingspan, it is very somewhat similar. It is somewhat similar to what a regular play shot is with the average arm span. But look, you're gonna go with the 84 3-pointer and the 77 ball control. It's the reason why I'm telling you to go with this, because you need that 86 3-pointer rating threshold to knock down shots. As y'all know, if you got an 82 3-pointer compared to having an 86, it's a big difference. Even though it's only 4, you would think an 82 3-pointer would be just great enough, but compared to an 86 3-pointer hitting consistently, it is not good enough. But you're going to go for the 84 3-pointer. You have to just get to 97 overall to get the 86 rating. And it shouldn't be hard for you guys to keep a 97 overall on NBA 2K21. But also, with the ball control being the 81, you should be also close when you get your takeover. You'll be able to speed boost way faster. So when you pick playmaking or sharpshooting, that's what would be the main two I would choose. Do not pick shot creating. You could if you want to, but playmaking and sharpshooting are the two best ones. Also like lockdown and glass take. Those are the best takeovers in the game. But if you're going with the sharp one, you can. But for my sake, I'm going with the playmaking one. It defeats the purpose of me making a playmaking stretch big. I'm here to break ankles, and that's the reason of making a stretch playmaker. As you see, we got Jason Tatum, we got Kevin Love, and Bojan Bogdanovic. But look, I'm going to give you the badge layout that I would use on this build once creating this build. As a finishing badge, I can do consistent finisher, pro touch, maybe contact finisher, even though you're not getting contact dunks, but it still helps in the long run. Shooting badges, hot zone hunter, range extender, green machine. And since you're at that 84 3-pointer threshold, I wouldn't want you to go with flexible release on go. Flexible release on go, I've been using it on my slasher. It's actually nice. It's actually nice. That's me only having an 81 3-point rating on my slasher. Sometimes mistiming my jump shot, even with the meter off and on, it still helps. It doesn't matter what you do, that 81 threshold or that 84 threshold is literally similar. It's nothing crazy, it's nothing different, but it's a big difference when you get to that 86. But when we get to the clutch shooter, a lot of people don't really use clutch shooter on go that I know. They mostly use it on silver, like most of the stage players I know who play the game. They usually clutch shooter on silver or they use it on Hall of Fame. But since you got 3 badges left over, you can put it on Deadeye, you can put it on difficult shots. It's based on your play style. On my play shot, I do not use Deadeye, I use steady shooter. So that's based on how you play. But looking at these playmaking badges, I noticed there's no ankle breaker. There's no ankle breaker badge for a stretch playmaker. Like, what is this? So you're telling me I can't get ankle breaker badge on a stretch playmaker, Hall of Fame playmaking, and Hall of Fame shooting build? But since you don't get no ankle breaker on this build, you still can make a great build out of this. Diamond Hall of Fame, handles for days, quick first step. You can put downhill on if you want to for that extra speed, but you're gonna have to mandatory have that unpluckable on. But another great badge that I would recommend is Space Creator. Space Creator on Gold or Hall of Fame. Since you don't have ankle breaker, I would use Space Creator on Gold or Hall of Fame and use that bailout on bronze. Bailout on bronze is all you need, to be honest. There's no point you putting it somewhere else. Bailout on bronze is mandatory. You don't need it, but it does help for certain passes. Cause bro, it's a few times I took off my bailout and it did not let me do nothing that I usually do with the bronze bailout. But if you're looking at this badge right here, this is a badge setup when you're going to be checking guards. This is what I would usually do when I'm checking guards somewhat if I was playing on this build or checking a perimeter. I'm gonna have clamps, intimidator, rebound chaser, and also if you're not sending screens on this build, this would be the layout I would use. But if you are using screens, I'm just gonna lower the clamps, put brick wall on bronze. My box out is the same. I'm gonna have box on bronze. Rim protector is still on silver. Rebound chaser is on gold. I'm liking it. I'm actually liking this build. I'm just surprised how good this build is. Once I get to 99, this build will be unstoppable. It will be nasty. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, put on post notifications. It's been your man, ChaMoma, and I'm out, y'all.